I don't know about you, Bob, but I like keeping my money where I can see it. Unfortunately, traditional, quote, big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and quote, free perks that actually cost me more in the long run, and I switched to Mint Mobile.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone. That's the best thing about Mint Mobile. You can use your own phone and bring your number with you to Mint Mobile. So, ditch your overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/who. That's mintmobile.com/who. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 each month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
You will dream it.
Yo, they wanna know. Hey. Hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
Happy Valentine's Day. The celebs are celebrating Valentine's Day, including Alec Baldwin, with the headline, Alec Baldwin didn't want a girlfriend before meeting wife Ilaria. Quote, but I fell madly in love with her. Exclusive.
Lana Del Rey wears jeans featuring husband Jeremy Dufresne's last name nearly 5 months after surprise wedding. Photos.
Why Millie Bobby Brown moved to farm in Georgia with husband Jake Bon Jovi.
Christina Hawk glows during sushi lunch with beau Christopher LaRocca, ex Tarek El Moussa, and his wife, Heather.
Ben Affleck holds lit cigarette out window of $100,000 BMW as he prepares to spend Valentine's Day alone after J-Lo divorce. That's so mean.
It's not actually Valentine's Day, so we're not getting Valentine's Day headlines yet. To be honest, it's the day before Valentine's Day.
We're recording on the 13th. The 14th, there will be
What
plenty
are
of them.
these?
I've never seen these before. Us Weekly is doing something new that is totally, demented. They have 2 of them that were out today. QVC hosts celebrate Valentine's Day with love letters and gift pics for their spouse, and also 8 married at first sight couples celebrate Valentine's Day with heartfelt letters to their spouse. They asked these people to write letters to their spouses, and then they published them in Us Weekly, and they are letters like this from a QVC host named Amy. Dear Steve, I still can't believe we met in a sea of people in New York City. For over 20 years, we built a relationship that includes 2 busy careers, 2 incredible children, and too many memories to count. I'm so thankful our paths crossed, but more thankful they stay connected. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Amy. And then it says Amy's gift pick because they're QVC hosts. Jewelry is so nice to mark a special holiday, and our QVC exclusive brand, J, has the perfect unisex bracelet to gift to Steve. It's exactly what you expect from designer silver, weighty and stylish, but for a fraction of the price. Why did they do this?
I don't really get it.
So happy Valentine's Day. You're listening to Who's There, our weekly call-in show where we take your questions, comments, and concerns at 619-WHO-THEM. Here are some calls.
Regarding the upsetting Seal as a Seal Mountain Dew Baja Blast ad, that was directed by Taika Waititi. Crunch, crunch.
I did not know that until the call came in. Obviously, we would have mentioned it.
He is such a sellout. He's such a sellout.
Where? It's just his career trajectory is just filled with peaks and valleys at this point.
Yeah, I know. You'll like see an amazing little show and it'll be like produced by Taika Waititi and you'll be like, whoa. And then he'll do like the most embarrassing movie of all time.
Like Next Goal Wins.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a good journey though, I have to say. Because it's like, you want to do highbrow, lowbrow. You want to make some money and then you want to lose some money.
Yeah. It's embarrassing, but I guess not really because it probably made him a ton of money.
I guess
and
not
he's
really.
He's a name director.
And he doesn't have to pay for his wife. Mm-hmm. She makes her own money.
She makes her own money.
And boy, is she earning.
She's making so much of it. What's his next thing on the docket? He did an embarrassing Mountain Dew commercial where Seal is a seal and Becky G is also there. But his next thing that's coming up is a adaptation of a really popular novel by Kazuo Ishiguro. So he's doing the Clara and the Sun movie. So it's like he still has the highbrow coming up soon. It's
just funny because when you do an ad like this and it's like actually directed by somebody that is a respected director, then Becky G goes on Instagram and has to be like, what an honor to be in this ad for Mountain Dew Baja Blast directed by Taika Waititi. And it's like, what the fuck are you even saying? Becky G, does the shower curse still, does the Becky G curse still reign? I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think so.
She broke the
She
curse.
broke the curse. She broke through.
Now, I think she hasn't had an issue in a while.
No, she
still
very
remains
famous.
quite successful.
She's very successful. Okay, let's move on to the next call.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy. I was incredibly excited to hear you guys talk about Haim on the episode this week. You're going to be hearing a lot more probably coming up. It's been rumored for a long time, but I think we pretty much have confirmation now that Danielle is dating Justin Vernon from Bon Iver and has been for probably about 2 years. She's credited on his upcoming album. She's also credited, interestingly, for the remix that he did with Charlie XCX. But I would very highly suggest that you read the press release related to his upcoming album and piece that together. Love you guys. Crunch, crunch. Me in Greece.
Say your theory.
Well, sorry, there was a loud beep outside. I really can't catch a break today in New York City.
Oh, damn.
I said as this woman was talking, thank you for calling. I said, oh, you know who introduced them. And Bobby was like, who? And I was like, Taylor Swift, because Justin Vernon as Bon Iver was on her last album.
They're collaborators.
She's worked with him a few times, and you could tell that maybe she was like, Danielle, you will love Justin.
My friend Justin?
You should meet Justin.
My friend Justin?
You should meet Justin. You're going to love Justin.
The dating is just a rumor, but they are, in fact, working together. They've posted them together in the studio in his, like, mountain studio in the snow where they're, like, alone.
Cute.
And they worked on stuff together. But there's something romantic about this.
Well, Jim Eastack is the hot producer, also hot. He's hot and he's hot.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who's working with Lorde, and that you keep seeing. And whenever you see Lorde in the city, I've seen her now twice. She's with this producer.
You've seen her
so I'm
in
like,
person?
oh, who's this hot guy Lorde's with? And it's like the hot guy. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the hot guy's Jim Eastack.
Jimmy Stack. I'm like, who's the hot guy? And it's Jimmy Stack. So he's working with Justin, and they're both working on the new Bon Iver album that is coming out on, I want to say soonish, because
soon.
There's merch for it already out. And then I guess apparently he's working on next Haim album. The only proof that they'd be dating is that she dated the last producer they worked with. So it's like not quite it.
The caller said read the press notes for this, and there is a line in here that's like vaguely romantic. It says Sable Fable, which is the new Bon Iver album, was primarily recorded at Vernon's April base in Wisconsin after years at the studio spent laying dormant during renovation. The conceptual genesis for the album occurred on 2/22/22 when Stack arrived at the base with only Danielle Haim. Snowed in for multiple days, Vernon and Haim's voices intertwined on If Only I Could Wait, a duet with the crucial perspective about not having the strength to be the best version of yourself outside the glow of new love. Like, there is something like...
Oh, so you're saying they fucked and then we're like, let's do
let's
a duet.
write a song. Yeah, they fucked in the snow in Wisconsin.
Okay,
and they said,
romantic.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay. I want that for both of them,
cute.
if that's what they want.
I think it's cute.
So cute.
I'm into
Happy
it.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, let's move on to new people. A lot of new people this week.
I feel like I've seen Keenan do a lot of TV appearances with Marcello Hernández recently. Like I'm looking at one right now from 3 days ago on the Jimmy Fallon show. And I mean, I'm just wondering, since his partnership with Chris Redd broke up after Chris Redd slept with his wife, is he thinking like, well, I guess I'll latch onto this new guy, and maybe because he's younger, he won't sleep with my wife? I don't know. Crunch, crunch. Good form, bella form. Bye.
Okay, the thought process of this is like Keenan needs a new creative partner. I don't think Keenan like needs to latch on to the young hot talent of SNL.
I don't really get like what this is referring to.
Remember the whole Chris Red drama and Keenan's that was
Yeah.
a thing we talked about years and years ago when it happened. I don't think that this is happening because like Keenan needs to pair up with someone young in the cast. I think a lot of this is just because of SNL's 50th anniversary. So if you have Marcello Hernandez and Kenan Thompson doing interviews together, you have the old guard and the new guard representing the show as it's like drumming up publicity for their big 50th anniversary special. You know, like he's the old, he's the new. They're both beloved at this point to different extents because Kenan's been there forever.
Okay, but also like you could argue that Marcello is like the breakout of this season because Domingo, his character, is the breakout of the season in terms of like a new character.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's maybe it too, is that like just it's a likely but exciting phenomenon when one of the characters like breaks out of SNL as like its own entity and becomes popular, you know?
Sabrina Carpenter doing a stunt with Domingo at her show is giving like, I can't remember the last time a character from SNL broke out beyond the show, sort of broke the fourth wall and became like a character in broader pop culture. It's very vintage to me, like when SNL in the 90s or the early 2000s, when that maybe happened a little more.
What do you mean? It happens all the time. What are you talking about?
Where
it definitely
an
happens.
SNL character becomes a character outside of the show. Like I can't remember the last time it happened.
Yeah. They used to make movies about it.
No, but I know that's old. It hasn't happened in like I can't think of something in the last 10 years. I just can't think of anyone since Stefan who like did stuff outside of the show as in character. Domingo is Marcello Hernandez's character who is, you've seen the sketches. It's like he's having an affair with Chloe Feynman, who's married, and he pops up and he sings.
When was the last time you saw Domingo?
It is today. My brother, aren't you happy? Direct from Domingo, we both are daddies. Domingo gonna be in your life forever. We'll raise our babies in Miami together.
It feels like it's getting rarer for SNL characters to break out beyond the show, like break the fourth wall of Studio 8H or whatever it is, and become funny in different contexts the way that the Domingo character exists in Sabrina Carpenter's tour. She took a photo with him, like he came out in character at one of her shows recently, like got arrested at one of his concerts. You know, like this character is that popular, and especially among Gen Z, because Marcello is SNL's first Gen Z cast member.
That's such a funny thing for him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why that's in his Wikipedia is because there was a profile written about all of the new cast members in GQ and like to introduce them, and they're kind of naming them, and also like half of them are gone at this point, right? So it's like not even, some of them are not even on the show anymore since this article was written, and they call him the show's first Gen Z. Miami native Marcello Hernandez, the show's first Gen Zer, is establishing himself as the flirty new class clown. Meanwhile, this is like vaguely before we even know what they're kind of assuming what their roles will be.
Yeah, this was years ago. But now he has established himself.
Like they're saying like, oh, he's kind of like Bill Hader, this other guy. Oh, she's kind of like XYZ. It's like TBD, you know?
So he's been on the cast since 2022. He's, as Lindsay said, as we said, the first Gen Z member. There's a funny Nepo Baby conversation that's been happening in the past 6 months since the Domingo character got really, really popular. And people are trying to like label him a Nepo Baby and extremely privileged because his stepdad is the president of Telemundo Station Group. And I'm just like, I don't think that makes you a cast member on SNL.
I saw that too, and I was like, that is such a reach and such a like, once again, another kind of like misuse of Nepo Baby language to even, and this always comes up on like Reddit threads where they're like talking about him. They're like, and also his stepfather is the president of Telemundo.
Someone goes, damn, well shit, our little Latin king didn't get there all on his own. And it's like, SNL, especially based on all we know about that show, has like a brutal audition process, you know?
I just don't think if a Nepo Baby ends up on SNL, it's
what's her name?
It's very rare that's the case. It's like Maya Rudolph was like the last kind of like, it's just
it's what's her name? The daughter of Chris Elliott, Abby Elliott was the.
She's not even on the show anymore.
I know, but that's nepotism for SNL. When your father was literally on SNL back in the day, and
But like
then
she
you
didn't
become
even
on SNL.
and she like
She was only on it for
wasn't
like
even
4
on
years.
it for that
Yeah, she was only
long.
on it for 4 years. I'm just like, I don't think that this is the type of nepotism. I think it's just like, oh, you have a rich and powerful stepfather who wasn't even your father the whole time. You know, like.
You know what's funny? The latest like SNL breakout that you could say is not even a character. It was Pete Davidson, like as Pete Davidson. And Pete Davidson, I feel like you can make the argument, played himself so often on the show. Like he played essentially himself that the breakout of SNL as a character like Stefan, like Wayne's World, like whatever, was just Pete Davidson. And when he made movies, they were him playing himself. So actually, technically, that character was a breakout of SNL, even though it was just him.
Yes.
If that makes sense. I'm trying to because SNL has breakouts all the time, but I feel like you're right. Like it hasn't been a character in a while in the Lorne Michaels makes a movie based on this character way that used to be literally all the time and now is pretty rare.
When I watch Domingo sketches, it really does feel vintage in a way where
they're
it's
going to
like,
make a movie.
If Domingo became a character in 1998, there would be a movie about him already, and it would be 79 minutes long.
Right.
And it would be that sketch over and over and over again, and the movie wouldn't be very good, but it would have done well on DVD, you know, like
they might do it.
Broadway video or whatever.
They're probably working on it.
Domingo is giving like my period of SNL to me, and I think that's why it's so charming.
Well, it's giving Fred Armisen, which I love. It's like this throwback kind of cheesy character, right? Like that and it works because Marcello's Cuban and Dominican, and like it feeds into like what he wanted to bring to the show anyways, right? Like, I don't know. That's what he does comedy about a lot. He has an entire stand-up thing called stand-up clip, like, and special called My Cuban Mom, right? Like he's doing TikToks about like Latin food versus American food. Like he has a perspective. It's a perspective is what, it works. And it works. That's why it works.
He got famous on TikTok. He graduated from college in 2019. He joined the show in 2022. Cool. He got famous on TikTok. He became a stand-up comedian. And then he got hired off of that.
Quote unquote famous.
Quote unquote famous.
Quote unquote
But he got famous enough.
He went viral and then he started doing stand-up.
Yes. And then he started doing stand-up. Then he got hired at SNL because that was that age when I think Lorne, that was 2022 when they were like, we got to shake up the cast a little bit. Like post-COVID, we need young people. They got him. This is one of the hooiest things about Marcello isn't just that he's on SNL. It's that he is closely associated with a lot of the cast of Summer House. And there are rumors that he is dating, well, that probably aren't true, one of the Summer House members that we talk about, Paige DeSorbo.
Yeah, but it's just because they hang out, like he hangs out with them. So, and she's recently single. So they were like, oh, they're dating, which they're absolutely not. Oh, a very not sourced at all.
Yeah, but it's giving like, again, I think Pete Davidson is a good comparison because even the breakouts like Bowen Yang, Sarah Squirm, we're not really getting like hooey speculation about their dating life in the way that we're getting that about Marcello Hernández.
Because they already have friends in New York, so they're not like hanging out with other famous people. If you don't have your own community already, like before you got famous on SNL, then you're just hanging out with the Summer House cast. Like, yikes, that is so bleak for you.
That's really funny though.
It's one thing to be like at an industry party and you take a photo with like another famous person because you're both at the like variety whatever. But if you're just like going to birthday parties and weddings or whatever of these people, it's kind of like, why are you all in the same posse?
Well, that's, I think, a factor of how young he is, because you look at the other people who are kind of young on the cast.
Yeah, they are like established. They have like friends and community.
Right. They were in New York a little longer. All of their friends are other comedians, right? You see them with the other comedians or their podcast co-hosts all the time. It's like Marcello moves to New York, gets famous really quickly, joins SNL, and his friends are the Summer House people. Yeah,
because he like met them at a party.
Because he met them at a party. He's like, I need friends.
By
I'm
like,
you know, I just joined SNL.
Yeah, and it's
hi, Paige.
Truly, it's giving a little bit of fanfic, but I think it's pretty close to the truth. Do you want me to read this blind item about him from Crazy Days
really
and Nights?
Funny.
Okay. This current late night actor has been trying to be seen and associated with A-list singers. First, the pretty singer promoting her sophomore album, who's single for now and has a driver's license. God, he's not really good at this.
He's
anymore.
not good at steering
Just kidding.
them.
He's a legend. Our late night actor made sure to get photographed with her, and the team reposted and sent out to the blinds. It got minimal buzz as she's not interested. He then did it again with the foreign-born illiterate singer because they were seen at a couple of same events during Halloween. He asked to hang out with her and her friends and made sure to be captured next to her or in the background of pics and videos. The PR team then sent in tips to gossip sites about them partying together. They are not dating, and the singer has zero interest. The late-night actor is going to keep trying since he doesn't really have to date them. He just needs to be linked and associated with them. His goal and the goal of his team is just to get more recognition outside the late-night show. He wants to be like the former late-night actor who's always appeared to be dating women way out of his league. This guy is as thirsty as YouTube stars.
It's so Pete Davidson. He's following that playbook. I love that.
And I kind of believe every word. It's like, it's clearly Marcello. The first singer is Olivia Rodrigo. The second singer, I guess, is Camila Cabello because they said foreign-born illiterate.
Foreign-born alliterative.
No, illiterate, which is too close to illiterate, but it's illiterate.
Yes.
Not illiterate. They're not saying she can't read. They're saying her name is Camila Cabello.
I think the word they're looking for is alliterative, but whatever. Crazy Days and Nights doesn't have the best writing.
So they're like, the foreign-born singer who can't read, Camila Cabello.
Oh, God.
He wants to be like Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he wants to be like Pete Davidson. I like that playbook, though. It works.
It totally works.
Hot straight guy who's dating up.
But also, this is a nasty blind item. So, like, you know, he's not necessarily trying to make it happen. Like, he had a successful character breakout. And, like, Sabrina Carpenter wanted him at her show. It's a win-win.
Let's move on.
I want to be famous.
Bobby, are you tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays?
You better believe it.
Get dinner done the easy way. Thanks to HelloFresh.
I will. They sent us another box, and I'm loving it. I did the all-veggie one.
With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh's new ready-made meals go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It's the same high-quality ingredients, restaurant-worthy flavor you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. Oh my God, they have meals where you don't have to do anything? That's iconic.
Yeah, they have those now, too.
They have 15-minute meals that are done in just 3 simple steps. You can eat better this year without the hassle. You save valuable time and fewer trips to the grocery store. Thanks to HelloFresh Market, you can get on like add-on items to your order, like eggs or like whatever you need.
HelloFresh, they're evolving.
Since we last did the ad, they're evolving. And look at these great meals that they have. I'm kind of like, my mouth is watering when I'm looking at hot honey Brussels and ricotta flatbreads. I'm looking at pasta primavera. What are you looking at?
Black bean and green pepper flautas. I'm excited for this one to be in my box this week. Black bean and green pepper flautas. And there's a pasta dish that has butternut squash and kale in it. And I'm like, I'm in. HelloFresh rules, and you should use our code when you sign up for it. So get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at HelloFresh.com/Who10FM. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. So get up to 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/Who10FM.
Folks, Risk is the podcast where people tell true stories they never thought they'd dare to share in public. And all throughout February, for Black History Month, we have jaw-dropping true stories. They'll make you laugh and cry. An amazing array of people of all walks of life sharing about their experiences of being Black in America today. Look for Risk on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I love my Helix mattress. I went home for Christmas and I slept on a non-Helix mattress and I was miserable. I missed my mattress. I'm back on my mattress. I'm loving it. I never want to leave my house again. Also, when it's cold and you don't, when it's cold and you're so comfortable.
If you need to get out of bed in the winter on your Helix mattress, forget it. Cancel the plan. It's not happening.
You don't want to get out. I took my quiz. I got the perfect Helix. I love my Helix. We recommend Helix all the time to people on the podcast and to people in our real life who were like, do you really like Helix that much? And I'm like, yeah, I love my Helix. Buy a Helix. You won't regret it.
Go to helixsleep.com/who for 27% off site-wide and 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase, plus a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/who for 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase, plus a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 free dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. helixsleep.com/who.
I want to be famous.
Hello. No, Angelina intended. I am just calling to let you guys get in on the ground floor of a girly who I just discovered. I was watching One of Them Days starring the talented SZA and Keke Palmer. But to me, one of the girlies who's kind of slipping through the cracks is Aziza Scott. She plays Bernice, and I think she's really funny. And I was kind of looking up her, like, Instagram and other stuff, and all there's really out there is an ebook called How to Become an Actor with Zero Experience. So I don't think she's anything huge yet. Maybe you guys can supplement this, but I feel like she's going to get big in the next couple of years because she's so funny. Anyway, crunch, crunch. Bye.
I think the issue with One of Them Days is that it came out in January and not in the summer. Because if this were like a summer comedy, I think it would have made more money. More people would have seen it. It's like a rental now, so you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw it. It was so cute. It definitely would have made a little bit more money, but I don't think it got, I don't know if it's the kind of movie that's one of those things that is really hard to market. It's just like small enough to be small. You need word of mouth. It's fun. I think it would have been a really good TV show, weirdly. I'm like, why don't we just like make it a show?
The two stars are Keke Palmer, them, and SZA, them. SZA in her, I think literally her acting debut, doing a great job.
Is it her acting debut? Okay, she was in one episode of Insecure.
They're the stars. There is a villain. One of the antagonists of the movie is this woman, Bernice. The actress who plays Bernice was also Aziza Scott, was also in one episode of Insecure. I think that's the Issa Rae connection because Issa Rae produced One of Them Days. She was Club Girl in one episode. She's Bernice in One of Them Days. Again, these are bigger movies, Girls Trip and Bridesmaids, but the idea is that you have the established stars and then the sort of side character who is the more unknown person who gets a lot of the big laughs, like Bridesmaids and Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish and Girls Trip. I think fewer people knew who they were, and then they got like a lot of the scene-stealing moments. That's sort of how I'm equating Aziza Scott as Bernice in One of Them Days, who's like kind of the villain, but the comic villain.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like SZA is kind of the breakout of this movie, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bernice broke out as much as SZA herself did. Because like you kind of spend the whole time being like, I can't believe SZA can act and I can't believe she's so funny in this.
There's like, it's like two different versions where SZA, you're sort of impressed by like, oh, I didn't know she had it in her. I didn't know this was possible for like a music star to be this funny in like a comedy and kind of do it so effortlessly. But we knew who she was. Like this person kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't recognize her from anything. I went to her Instagram. She has under 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
She's brand new.
That's cool.
I think that's really cool. I was like, oh my God, ground floor, 9,000 followers, follow from Who Weekly. Her Instagram's hilarious because she's doing promo for the movie or did promo for the movie when it came out by going to like an AMC. I'm going to play a clip. I don't know what city she's in, but it's like a metropolitan AMC that's huge. And she's like, hi, I'm Aziza Scott, star of One of Them Days. I'm Bernice. And she's just dressed normally. In the movie, she has like a red wig on. So she has red hair. She has her normal hair in this. So it's like not red. And she starts interviewing people who are leaving the movie and just talking to them about the movie and hoping that people recognize her. But I think only like 2 people do. They're like, are you Bernice? But mostly they don't recognize her. And she's very disappointed. It's really funny.
Okay, so we are here and I want to get some audience reactions to One of Them Days. Now, I'm a little bit undercover, but I'm going to see if they notice me. So, One of Them Days, how was it?
I loved it. I enjoyed it.
I like the comedy. The comedy reminded me kind of like Friday. Who was your favorite character?
Bernice.
Bernice!
So I love the ass being fat.
Being fat! Keke, right? I mean, duh. Thank you. See ya. They didn't notice me.
Her first tweet in 2009 is getting ready to go to Bible study. Yeah. And then her next tweet is she waited a whole year and then she tweeted in 2010, just got off the phone with my BFF. Such a healthy convo. I really appreciate life, family, and good friends. God is great. Good night, world. I mean, those are great. This is the opposite of what's her face from. Yeah. The opposite of her is when you like get famousy and I go on your Instagram and you tweeted in 2013, loving my new book.
Right. Like,
right?
The rule should be to nuke your social media when you become famous. But like, she didn't need to nuke her social media. This is fine. God is good. Reading my book.
No, I want to see that you tweeted in 2015, today was a good day. Not mad.
This is her first like big movie, but she was also in 2 seasons of an Apple TV Plus show that I had literally never heard of. I think it was more YA focused because the lead is the girlie from Florida Project. It's about a little girl. I think and it's like all TV PG, but it's like a serious drama. I think it's some sort of murder mystery, but there's a little girl who's very like Nancy Drew trying to figure out what's happening. She plays a police officer and then later a sheriff who's one of the supporting roles in this.
What's it called?
Home Before Dark. Yeah, so I watched some clips. Speaking of Haim, I was like scrubbing it to see Aziza's acting in it. I was like, I want to see how she does like a dramatic role, and I saw some of it. But as I was scrubbing, there was a Haim song used in one of the montages, and I was like, oh, they're kind of back. They're everywhere.
They're not kind of back because you saw them in an old Apple show that you're doing research for.
That show has 2 seasons.
Nice
it was from
try.
2020 and 2022. So between that and the movie, it took 3 years before she got this. But in that time, she also wrote an ebook that you can buy on her website called How to Become an Actor with Zero Experience, Step into the Spotlight for $14.99.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a writer.
She's a writer.
Okay, so she's an authoress.
She's an author. I kind of want to read the book because probably provides some insight, especially in the Nepo Baby conversation. Like, what better way to assert the fact that you're not a Nepo Baby than to release a book about how you came from nowhere and figured it out?
That's true. If you're a Nepo baby or if you want people to know that you're not a Nepo baby, you should write an ebook called How to Become an Actor with Zero Experience. Or maybe if you're a Nepo baby, you should write that as well.
Yet, Dakota Johnson should write How to Become an Actor with Zero Experience. Step 1, your mom's Melanie Griffith. Step 2, your dad is Don Johnson. I feel like it really does go hand in hand with the Nepo Baby conversation where it's like, no, I did this on my own and I'm proud of it and I will teach other people how to do it themselves.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting to see somebody who's in a movie and genuinely excited about being in that movie.
Yes. No, I found it really charming.
It's very like authentic. It's very charming and real. And she is good in it and she really does put her whole ass into it because it's not like it's a contact sport role. Like you're really
It's a very
like,
physical role.
Fighting. It's very physical. Yeah, it's very physical. She's screaming or yelling the entire time and fighting. Then again, Sis is electrocuted, so it's like everyone is really
gets
like,
electrocuted.
in it. It's a cute movie. It's really fun. It's a fun movie.
It's so good. And she's like the looming threat of them like completing their goal throughout the movie. But it's like kind of like the craziest woman you've ever met in your life. She's from New Orleans. I think at some point she moved to Los Angeles, started acting. I went to her IMDb because I was like, does she have anything in the pipeline? There's nothing on upcoming and we don't have access to IMDb Pro anymore. But like, it is a sort of thing where I'm just like, I think it did well. It opened at number 1. But it's like, if this were a bigger hit, there would be articles about this girlie everywhere. Who was Aziza Smith, breakout star of one of them days? But I'm just not seeing it. And I don't understand why. And I think it's just the movie fucking came out in January. And if a movie comes out in January, you just assume that it's going to be bad. And this one wasn't. So it confuses me.
But I just feel like that's not a general audience's assumption. That's like a real movie lover goer's assumption. Like the reason why movies are put out in January are bad is because people aren't really seeing movies in January.
Mm-hmm.
Like generally, like they're not like, oh, we're not going to see movies because they're bad. We're just not going to see them this time of year. It's just not like a movie going part of the year. Why? It's cold.
It's cold.
It's random. It's right after the holidays. It's, I don't know, like there's lots of other reasons. And then and then what's annoying is then it became, oh, this is when the bad movies are put out. So it's like it perpetuates its own stereotype.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks.
It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
Wow. The rare actor who didn't have to delete their tweets. I like it. Speaking of Issa Rae.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy. Okay, what is going on between Issa Rae and Amanda Seales? Like, what is their beef, I guess? I know Issa Rae is definitely a them, but Amanda Seales is really, I tried reading a BuzzFeed article about it, and that was a huge mistake. I feel like I understand less about everything after having read it. So if you could explain it to me, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tim Thiel, lesbian, crunch, crunch, bye-bye.
Amanda Seales, comedian, actor, TV host, multi-hyphenate, and also constantly revealing details from the Insecure set where she's like, I hate Issa Rae and here's why.
I mean, she's dragging this out.
She's like, I hate this woman, by the way. Did you remember that I hate this woman?
It's getting dragged out is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like when did Insecure go off the air.
Sometime early pandemic. I think it ended in 2021. Sorry.
Right. Okay. So you need to get over this because it's such a one-sided thing. Like, she's not even getting Issa to publicly respond. So now it's becoming kind of like, you look really bad that you're dragging this out, because people aren't even really still talking about this feud because people aren't talking about Insecure anymore. And that was the whole thing. It was like very Sex and the City Samantha versus Sarah Jessica Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Guess why people still talk about that? Because that show is on air, because they're back on air and it's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
This is like not, it's only her just being like, we have beef. Don't forget we have beef.
I think the last time we talked about her was when she was on the Shannon Sharp podcast, Club Shay Shay, last year. And she was like,
Yeah.
I hate Issa Rae. Issa Rae was mean to me. Don't trust this woman. She's a mean girl. She called me a mean girl. And I liked everyone else on that show, but not Issa Rae. I hate this woman. And
Right.
she also used to co-host The Real before it ended, but then she quit because she was like, they're not letting me be as like political and open about like social issues and politics as I'd like to.
Well, what's annoying is that she's had some legit complaints about various
Oh, yeah.
things, but it does feel like the fact that you're feuding with Issa Rae and like getting absolutely no traction on it or something, it feels like it's pulling down your other points, or it's diluting. It's not making you. It's not helping you. You also talk about these other issues that are legit.
This week, she has a YouTube channel called Amanda Seales TV. She used to have a Sirius XM show, but that ended at some point a couple of years ago. But now she has podcasts. I don't even know what to call these things anymore. They call it like Amanda Seales TV. They call it a YouTube channel, but I think it also exists as a podcast. But she explained how her relationship with Issa Rae finally ended when she was like, this is when I stopped talking to her. And I was like, oh, okay. She's always talking about this, but I kind of do want some finality, because I was seeing headlines like, now we finally know why Amanda Seales stopped talking to Issa Rae. And I was expecting some sort of like high drama, something totally crazy. I'm going to play this clip because the story that she tells is hilariously petty. Here it is.
Everybody together as a group was all chit-chatting. And we started talking about this new show. A new show had come out. Okay? And as we started talking about the new show that come out, Issa started reading a review of the show out loud to the group. Okay? She's reading the show out loud to the group. So we're all sitting there listening, and we're all commenting and involved in the commentary and in the conversation. Everybody as a group is talking. And when I say everybody, I mean the cast members. We're all chit-chatting about it. Okay? Together. All of us together. And she fell off from the conversation because she was reading the rest of the article to herself. So then I guess when she was done reading, she said, oh, yeah, it ends with da 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 da. And I asked, oh, well, did they mention da 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 da? And she said, why don't you just read it yourself? And that was the last day. Because I had taken so much stankness and weirdness for the past 5 seasons, and it was the last season, and I just said, you know what? I don't gotta take this no more.
Issa said, why don't you just read it yourself? And she said, I'm done with this woman. This reminds me of like, there's someone I don't like in real life. And I do not like this person. I can't stand this person. I almost borderline hate this person. And one time I was talking about this person to a friend, and they were like, why do you hate this person? And I told the story, and as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, this isn't going to translate. This doesn't actually work. I was like, I can't really express to you why I hate this person.
You really have to say, like, sometimes take my word for it. I just don't like them. I can't tell you why.
One time Issa Rae was reading a review, and when I told her, how did it end? What did they say? She told me to read it herself. And I said, fuck her. That's all it is. That's the story. I've never spoken to her again, she says. Anyway, I thought that was a very funny, like, sort of button to the Amanda Seales v. Issa Rae conversation. And Issa Rae, to her huge credit, never says a single word about this woman. The who-them dynamic.
Well, that's the thing. It's like she's winning in that way. Like, she could easily say something, but like, why would she say something? This is how you get yourself draked, you know? Like, you just don't say anything.
It's the Mad Men meme, a show I've never seen, but I've seen the meme where it says, I don't think about you at all.
And the weird thing is, I bet she does think about her. And I bet at one point it was kind of like maybe bothering her that she couldn't say anything. And maybe she was saying stuff privately to people or whatever when her name came up. But now it's like, oh, you've kind of dug a grave for yourself because you're still talking about this, you know? Now these are stories from like so many years ago. So also it's like if I hate somebody and my story about why I hate them is old, I'm going to forget why I hate them too. I'm just going to know it. I'm just going to feel it.
I'm going to feel the hatred. I'm not going to be able to explain it.
No. And that's when you say, oh, not a fan. If
Yeah.
somebody comes up, why? I don't know. You cannot tell the story. You cannot tell the story.
What did I say about this person to you and Steven yesterday? Where I was just like, oh, I hate that person. And
Yeah.
Steven was like, why? And I was like, can't get into it. Doesn't make sense. I just hate them.
Right. Like if I told you, it would actually invalidate me.
I have learned that I cannot explain that. So I've stopped trying. I'm not being Amanda Seales right now. Because when I tried to be Amanda Seales, I sounded like a crazy person.
Yeah. From experience, I can say you do.
Yes. Because you know the full story, and the full story is not very good.
No, and it's also just like the full story is like something that's seemingly so offensive, but then like with many years past, it's gotten a little bit less impactful.
Yes. And I am invested in the Amanda Seales Issa Rae drama because I've heard all the chapters of it. So I was really hoping for like a grand finale. But so much
And you
time
didn't
has
get
passed.
one.
Time has dulled sort of all the issues to begin with. Like it just nothing about this works in a way that like really made me laugh.
I do need her to move on because I do feel like she's good at what she does.
This is the yapping effect of having a podcast where you are alone. This is giving Bethany Frankel's podcast
The monologuing issue.
the
yeah,
monologuing
like,
issue.
True first person vloggers, like you gotta have it's harder than it looks.
You need a Lindsay to be like, maybe you can move on.
Truly, because you would just spiral. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it moving. But, you know, I think some people are really good at it. Like, look at Danny Pellegrino. I'm like, that guy cracks himself up on his podcast when he's on that he does himself. And I listen and I go, wow, what a skill. What a talent. I mean it. I really do mean it.
Yeah,
Because
I
I don't
could
think I
never.
could do it.
I could never.
Never. No.
Hosting a podcast alone? Bruh. Okay, let's move on.
Buh.
Bruh.
Hi, Bobby, Lindsay, and Timmy. This is your roving Eurovision correspondent here, just calling to make sure that you saw the story about Evergreen Who Samantha Mumba trying to represent Ireland at Eurovision this year, legendarily losing their national selection show and then going on Twitter saying that the panel, who had no voting authority in the show at all, but were just merely there as talking heads, were unnecessarily rude and vile to all of the finalists, then later adding in her tweet that her parting gift to them is a bag of dicks, but using the eggplant emoji to slowly choke on. Legendary behavior from a legendary Who. Crunch, crunch.
Samantha Mumba, chanteuse of one of the great pop songs of my lifetime. And I'm serious.
Which one?
Gotta tell you.
Her other single's better.
Oh, you always say that. Baby, come on over.
I'll tell you if you know. Well, she's kind of an iconic alto, too.
Yes, she is. And gotta tell you, also has one of my favorite music videos where she's just walking around.
She's also just like an iconic Irish artist that people forget about. That
Yes.
she's Irish.
But she's also I guess not technically a one-hit wonder because I think she had two that were pretty big international hits. But she has one iconic song.
Yeah.
She has been dining out on that song forever.
Yeah.
She's still releasing music. She's never stopped making music or touring or whatever. She's always been active ever since.
And I think she said, like, I, as an iconic Irish artist, like, I deserve to represent Ireland in
Yes.
Eurovision. And also, Ireland doesn't do so well in Eurovision as of recent. I got yelled at for this. They've done well in the past. They have done well. But
Yeah,
like,
they've won it a few times.
recently, it's been not so great. But I think what's so fun about Eurovision is like a Nepo baby. Sometimes they choose artists that are like nostalgic, but they don't do well usually. They're not like they don't get votes. It's about the song. I think people really try and like care about the outline of the project. They're not like just excited to see Samantha Mumba.
Right. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, every country has kind of a different decision-making process as to how they decide which song will represent them.
Yes.
Ireland's is its own sort of experience and show. So the public does get to vote on who will be representing Ireland in Eurovision on their like late show Eurosong contest. It's like judges have a vote, The public has a vote. It's like a multi-part decision-making process, but that event happened this month.
Well, sometimes they'll do smaller song contests that are built into like the year where they like, but then sometimes it'll be like the winner of The Voice. Like they kind of turned The Voice into sometimes a contest for Eurovision where like the winner of Eurovision will be like, well, because, you know, again, it's about the song. So like they'll work with them to write a song for it. And sometimes the songwriters are like from other Eurovision winning countries, or like they'll bring them in, or like it's all different. But I guess Ireland has this late show Eurosong panel that does a smaller contest that helps decide.
And Samantha Mumba was a contestant, but she did not win. And she was pissed off about it because the judges were apparently rude to her and everyone else.
She was going to win.
You can tell she went into this thinking there was no way she wasn't going to win and represent Ireland in Eurovision. And when she lost to an artist named Emmy,
a Norwegian artist, a Norwegian singer-songwriter named Emmy,
not an Irish woman,
with a song written by 1, 2, 3, 4 different Scandinavian people. You can't beat that.
Not only is it a Norwegian singer written by Scandinavian songwriters, the song itself is about a Russian dog. So like there's really very little Irish stuff in this song.
It's about a Russian dog who went to space. Laika. I think Laika is the most famous dog that went to space.
Yeah, he's the demiest animal who died in space, for sure.
The Soviet dog. He was the first animal to orbit the Earth.
Right. I was looking this up earlier. Like, other animals went to space before Laika. He was the first animal who orbited the Earth.
Orbited the Earth, yeah.
And then he died. And so the song...
Yeah, sad.
The song is sort of a meditation on what if Laika were still alive in his capsule and having a party up there. It's called Laika Party. Laika Party.
Which I love because it's also a pun.
It sounds like a party.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
But the song includes... I'm going to play it.
I'm sorry. If I was Samantha Mumba, like the iconic Samantha
pissed.
Mumba, they gotta let me on Eurovision. Like, I'm already kind of famous. Like, Ireland loves me. Like, I'm
Ireland's
a hometown
queen.
hero.
Yes.
This song is like pretty good. I don't know. My Way Live. Is that what it's called?
It's called My Way. It's not. The thing about Like a Party is it's like an up-tempo kind of dance, silly, kooky song. It's very Eurovision. My Way's a little more somber. You know, you're utilizing Samantha Mumba's deep voice.
I'd be pissed if I showed up and then literally this like random Norwegian woman shows up and sings a party about a dog in space.
A Russian
song
dog.
about a dog in space. And I'm beaten.
The lyrics include, I hope Laika never died and that she spins around a still and that she has a party in the air and always will. I hope that she is dancing every night among the stars. I hope Laika is alive, like a party in the sky, like a party in the sky.
I hope like I never died and that she spins around us still and that she has a party in the air and always will. I hope that she is dancing every night among the stars. I hope like is alive like a party in the sky.
The dog died really quickly, by the way. The dog's corpse has been like floating around the earth for a very long time.
Yeah, like a party in a sky, like a party in the sky. That's, as Emmy said, like a party in the sky.
From a nationalist perspective, I can understand her ire, but like the song itself is a bit of a banger and extremely Eurovision, so I understand why it was chosen.
Yeah, it's a Eurovision song. It's a Eurovision song. Like,
Ireland's entry.
Samantha Mumba, you write a song about a dog floating in space and come back next year. And you will also go to Eurovision.
In the reporting on this, which is largely European, understandably, when they are transcribing what Samantha Mumba wrote on her Instagram, she said, I meant to post this yesterday, but I was wrecked. Thank you so much for all the incredible messages and love. I've tried to respond to them all. I'm beyond proud of myself and the team for all the work and dedication we all put into this performance. I honestly wouldn't change a thing. Truly. Those that got it, and those that didn't, that's okay too. It's my art, and I stand by it. Special mention to the panel, she puts panel in quotes to be rude. Aside from Bambi, who I stand, who not only didn't have the credentials, experience, or professionalism required and were unnecessarily rude and vile to all the finalists, my parting gift is a bag of... aubergine emoji. They mean eggplant because they're not in the United States. To slowly choke on.
Bambi Thug was the Irish entrant from, I want to say, last year. She was really good.
She's the one that had sort of the like kind of
it was like a goth,
kooky goth
scary
look. Yeah, goth fairy.
She's good.
It was last year's song. You're right. It was last year's song. So Samantha's like, I love Bambi, but everyone else was rude. I hated one of these judges. He wasn't even in music. And then that judge, whose name is...
There was a celebrity chef.
The chef.
There was a Dancing with the Stars judge. There was a broadcaster, and there was Bambi Thug. The chef was Donal Scahan.
So Donal is the one who was like, who went to his Instagram, I think it's social media in some way, and was like, listen, girly, you said that I'm just a chef, but I used to be a music producer. I actually know about music as well. Don't say that I'm not qualified.
Yeah, well, shout out to the website Evoke. Aubergine Gate rumbles on as Donal Scahan and Samantha Mumba spat online. It's officially the war of the emojis, and we can't see either Donal Scahan or Samantha Mumba waving a white flag anytime soon. The TV chef and the singer have been at loggerheads since the Late Late Show's Eurosong special, when Samantha took aim at Donal and the rest of the Eurosong panel for not having the qualifications to judge the acts and being rude, vile, and dismissive. On Monday, Donal cheekily shared 4 recipes on his Instagram stories. The real kicker, they're all aubergine based. He wrote, and now back to our regular content. Discover the delicious versatility of aubergines. Oh my God. We get it. You don't call it eggplant. You call it aubergine.
Aubergine. He posted a photo of himself, a selfie that said bozo, and he put eggplants in each O. They're leaning into this.
Wow, they're really like going against each other. She came for his ass. And then she said, who would have thought that a few aubergines would have caused such a scene? I'll spare you all a pages long statement, but I really do want to make it clear. This was never about me not winning. That's the nature of the business and this show's format. I know that better than most. I feel strongly that the panel were dismissive of all the contestants, which was disappointing given the amount of work and passion we all put into our performances. My stance on this won't change. And then she reshared a screenshot of an aubergine printed tote bag. All right. We're dragging this out a little. I love it. I love this for Ireland, honestly, because I feel like they're probably like, this is the most exciting thing that's happened for them.
I want to be famous.
This has to talk about being stuck indoors with your cat this time of year. I'm like, when am I not stuck indoors with my cat? I see my cat all the time. I feel like I'm in prison with my cat. That's part of what it is to own a cat, right?
Well, they're saying it's cold out, so they're saying you're not able to like open as many windows to get the stink out.
Well, I don't have this problem, Ad, because I use Pretty Litter.
Well, that's what they're trying to say.
It's hard for someone who's doing an ad for Pretty Litter, who uses Pretty Litter, to give personal experience that's dramatic. Because I've been using Pretty Litter for so long, I don't even remember what it was like when my apartment smelled like cat pee.
Wow.
You know, like it's just been such a life changer and a game changer for me that like I don't know the before times.
You don't remember a time before Pretty Litter.
No. I don't remember BPL, but I do know that Pretty Litter is low dust, so it's not tracking around the cat, it's not tracking around kitty litter everywhere. The color crystals change colors to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in the cat, like UTIs and kidney issues. It traps odor, it traps moisture, it's easy to scoop, and 1 6-pound bag works for up to a month. And because it gets shipped right to my door, I don't have to go to the pet store all the time and lug everything back and forth from like 3 blocks away to my apartment, from 3 blocks away to my apartment. So I'm going to end this with saying, indoor cats and indoor humans agree. Pretty Litter helps my house smell fresh and clean. So go to prettylitter.com/who to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/who to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/who. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Lindsay, this is actually so... I actually have to let her know that I'm doing this right now because she texted me 7 minutes ago, feeling compelled to tell you that I used the Who code to save on my Squarespace. Bless you.
Oh,
that's from our friend
God.
Kelly. Our friend Kelly just launched a Squarespace and said she used our code to get the discount because she knows that we're serious when we say Squarespace is so important. Our website will always be Squarespace. Truly.
Whether we have this ad or not, to be honest with you, like...
I don't know what else to tell you. It's great. We get contact forms. We can see where listeners are coming from. It's so easy to update everything on our website. It automatically feeds in the latest episode of the podcast. It does everything you want a website to do so easily, so easy to turn on and off pages. I don't know. You know how websites work, and Squarespace makes it impossible to mess up. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, just like our friend did. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/who to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Get ready to play wherever you are. With Chumba Casino, the fun never stops. Dive into hundreds of exciting online social casino games like bingo, slots, and solitaire. It's completely free to play with no purchase necessary. Discover fresh new games every week and enjoy free daily login bonuses and welcome offers. Join today at ChumbaCasino.com and play for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited per law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I want to be famous.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby. I am scrolling on my phone before bed, and I saw a tweet from @GleefulACD logging on to find that there's a years-long conspiracy theory that actor Nicholas Galitzine and Prince William are having an affair. Any thoughts, reactions to this? Sorry if I sound like I have a list. I have my retainer in. Okay, thank you. Grunch, grunch. Bye.
Somebody like cannot put down red, white, and royal blue. Like somebody who's truly like, that's like a fan fiction slurry or something. Like something happened.
The star of the movie adaptation of the fanfic of what if a president's son and a prime minister's son started fucking has been turned into a real life rumor about what if the actual son of the king were dating the guy who played the son of the prime minister. Like,
what if the guy who played the guy it was loosely based on dated the guy it was loosely based on?
So
what if?
It's actually, it hurts your brain to think about.
Well, it's like they've never been spotted together. Like they're not. And if anything, the only relevant Nicholas Galitzine like chatter is that he's playing He-Man. So every photo of him that's just like a fan saw him out, or like here's a pic of him with his trainer. He is so ripped right now. He like fully Henry Cavilled. Like I don't know what they're putting into his body. Maybe it's just 45 eggs a day. Maybe it's a chicken, an entire chicken
blended chicken breast.
Maybe it's a dump truck of a chicken breast or whatever, but he looks fucking yoked. He is huge. He looks huge.
His twink days are over.
He's the twunkiest looking man.
He's gotten so twunky.
All the red, white, and royal blues fan accounts are like R.I.P. Like he's dead to us.
All of these things are colliding where we can't deal with Nicholas Galatzine's physical transformation, and we also can't deal with the fact that the rumor that he's fucking Prince William is really on overdrive. And I hadn't seen this rumor until like a week ago, but apparently it's been bubbling for years. Years.
I mean, sure.
I don't believe
Babes,
it. I would
sure.
love to believe it. I don't believe it.
Wait, I love this. So GQ, I guess, like GQ wrote about him getting yoked, and this is the write-up. At an event celebrating the launch of Emporio Armani's Stronger With You, of which Nicholas Galitzine is the latest face, he swapped the gym gear for something with a bit more polish. In a deep navy long-sleeved polo and matching trousers, he kept things simple and focused on the shape, something he's found is key with his newfound bulk. Quote, "It's been tricky with my body changing a lot for this role. I keep having to find clothes that fit my body shape," Galitzine says over the phone from his hotel. "I'm someone who's worn very oversized things in the past. I like oversized trousers, but they widen you too much now that my frame's increased. Tonight, we're going quite simple, quite classic."
I have no doubts that this movie, Masters of the Universe, is going to be the biggest flop in the history of flops.
No. He got so ripped, though. He worked so hard.
The cast. Morena Baccarin as the Sorceress, James Purefoy, King Randor, Alison Brie, Evil Lynn, Nicholas Galitzine, He-Man, Idris Elba, Man-at-Arms, Camila Mendes, Tila, Jared Leto, Skeletor. This is a disaster.
I'm on the over. You're on the under.
Okay, Matt. I'll be producer Craig.
He's ripped.
He's so ripped.
I think it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Do you believe that there's any truth to the rumors that he's fucking Prince William.
Well, now that I'm seeing this incredible Photoshop of Prince William like hugging him from behind, yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
Here's what people are saying. Someone goes on Reddit, "Hey dear, I live on the other side of the pond, and on this side of the pond, there's a rumor that Nick and PW went on a trip, which now has prolonged the filming of He-Man. Do you know anything about that? How long have they been together? How did they meet? I've seen where someone said they're non-committal, but having wild sex and having a good time. I know this sounds silly, but all of this is like a soap opera. I'm hooked." And someone responds, "Amazon announced that the movie started shooting in January. Then it was postponed indefinitely due to Nick's absence. According to inside sources, after the new year, Will spends almost all of his time with Nick and put off some things in his work schedule for a month as well." And they're like, where are you getting this stuff?
Where is this from?
This is fan fiction gone too far.
Meanwhile, the only thing that Nicholas Galitzine is doing is talking to GQ about how his t-shirts are too tight, you know?
Because he's eating
I'm still
so
finding
much
the clothes
chicken.
that work for me. But it's cool because you see your body in a different way and you feel like clothes in a very different way. There's things like you put in the store and you're like, oh, I love that. And then you put on your arms and your arms won't fit. I just do love it. I do love the idea of Nicholas Galitzine putting on shirts and just ripping through them like the Hulk. And he's like, no.
He's like, this is a big problem. Have you ever had this problem? When you put on a shirt and it rips?
If you two are on a journey to getting ripped to whatever level, Galitzine might just be your new best friend. Although he caveats, I hate to be the spokesperson for swole people.
God, I hate this.
He has a lot of tips. Honestly, this is a good article. He's like, get your stuff tailored. Like, I really like Abercrombie and Fitch to work out in. Like,
oh my God.
Galitzine recommends a tighter fitting top to show off your upper body, tucked into a wider and roomier trouser. See, that's the thing is like, this guy, what I like about Nicholas Galitzine is he's kind of chatty. He's kind of too chatty. If I can't have Henry Cavill, I need another.
You need another guy with a big neck.
Hunk.
God, Reacher's
I need another
right there.
big necked. I like him too, but I need more personality from him. What's his personality? We don't know.
Alan Richson. He's like woke good guy.
What does he do?
He's woke good guy.
Yeah, no, there's no personality.
Oh my God, who needs personality when you got all that? I'm looking at photos of Alan Richson and I don't need a personality. I'm sorry.
No one's like writing fanfic about Alan Richson fucking the Prince of England.
You haven't seen my steno pads.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Okay.
I don't want to hooer them, Caitlin Dever. We can move on to ranking Bridget Jones's love interests. That's funnier to me.
Oh. Okay, great. I don't want to hooer them Caitlin Dever either.
No,
she's a who.
She's a who.
We did it.
Hey, BLT. I had a fun Who to Them ranking. Kind of excited for the new Bridget Jones movie with Leo Woodall, although I'm kind of feeling like maybe we put this woman through too much. But could you rank from Who to Them? And I think like, especially in our 2025 context, everybody who's played a Bridget Jones love interest. So to list them, it's Colin Firth, obviously, Hugh Grant, Patrick Dempsey, Chiwetel Ejiofor, who I forgot about, but he's in the second one. He's in the new one. I noticed in the trailer. I guess that's the fourth one. And then Leo Woodall. I feel like got some hooey themmy mix, but a lot of people have kind of a similar, caliber. Okay, maybe this isn't fun. Maybe it is. Avia Tiongin, I've got a bone coming out of my leg.
Okay, ranking all of Bridget Jones' love interests.
The actors, though, not the characters.
Yeah, not the characters. So it's Colin Firth, Hugh Grant, Patrick Dempsey, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Leo Woodall. Leo Woodall's definitely the whoiest.
For sure. I would say Hugh's at the top.
Okay,
then
I was going to say, is it
Colin.
Colin or Hugh? It's Hugh. Yeah, Hugh's having
Hugh
a moment.
first. He's kind of, Hugh Grant is Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is like fucking Hugh Grant. Then Colin. Then Patrick, I guess, because of Grey's. And
Patrick
then,
over Chiwetel?
Yeah, but like not by much. Chiwetel's huge too, but not by much. And then Leo. It's kind of an easy one.
Yeah, so Hugh Grant, Colin Firth, Patrick Dempsey, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Leo Woodall. Okay.
Sorry, it's kind of simple, I guess, maybe.
What's his show? What's his new Apple TV show about the math?
Oh, I don't know. He's like a hot guy who does math.
Josh and I were watching Severance, and then the trailer for the Leo Woodall show started playing at some point, and I was like, oh, I want to watch this. And he was like, what is this? We watched, the trailer is like kind of crazy. Josh was like, this looks stupid. He was like, why do you want to watch this? And then Leo Woodall showed up, and he was like, oh, this is what you want to watch. And I was like, yeah, sorry.
He's so hot. The way that I'm so excited to watch the Bridget Jones,
Bridget Jones mad about the boy.
But it literally snuck up on me. Like
Is it
all of a
out
sudden,
yet?
I'm like, It's out tonight. It's just funny because it's something that you like. I just didn't think I'd care about that much, but then I'm kind of like, when's it out? I'm going to
it's
be
out.
watching it.
It's out now. I went to Peacock. It is served right at the top.
God. Okay, so let's watch it today and talk about it on the Patreon tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen Bridget Jones's Baby. I've only seen the first
That's fine.
two.
That's fine.
Okay, you'll
That's
have to fill me
fine.
in. You'll have
That's
to fill
fine.
me in.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Next call.
Hi, Who Weekly. Long time, first time, actually, if you can believe it. I am calling because Martha Stewart just posted an Instagram from like a Jimmy Choo New York Fashion Week event, and it's her, Chloe Sevigny, Sandra Choi, who is like the creative director of Jimmy Choo, and The Dare, and she tagged like all the other people like in the photo or like, called them out in the caption, but not The Dare. So my question is, does Martha Stewart know who The Dare is, even though she is posing in a photo with him and was clearly at an event with him? Okay. Good form, Bella Thorne.
No. No, she doesn't. She didn't even tag his ass.
She doesn't know. He definitely introduced himself as his real name to her. Like,
you know what his real name
no
is?
one stepped in to be like, do you know who this is? What is it, like Josh?
Harrison. She's not remembering that.
Oh. No.
She's not remembering that,
No,
nor
I'm
does
sorry.
she have
No.
to.
She's bare. I mean, she knows Chloe. Like she just got Chloe. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're
she
not like
just
adding
got
on the
Chloe.
new random tall guy, right?
Who's in a suit with a skinny tie. She was probably like, I don't need to deal with this. This is not for me.
No, she was like, who is this character? Who is this character? Right?
Mm-hmm. So the answer is no.
All right.
Hi, Bobby Lindsay. I'm in the car with my friend, and we're listening to your podcast. You might hear it in the background. And this call was asking you to rank something, and she said, I hate when they do these stupid ranking calls. And I told her that I was going to call in and have you rank the Ferrells, Hollywood Ferrells. Will Ferrell, Colin Farrell, the Farrelly brothers, Pharrell, and then the word feral, as in feral cat. And she said that was a good idea. So here I am calling you to ask you to do that ranking.
Crunch, crunch.
Live and Levita laptop.
Will Ferrell, Colin Farrell, Farrelly brothers, Pharrell, and feral cats. Stupid. Dumb and stupid. Dumb and dumber.
From who to them, I'm going to say feral cats, Farrelly brothers.
Wait, you're saying feral cats are the whoiest?
Yeah, I mean, compared to all these, Farrelly brothers, then the whoiest?
I think the Farrelly brothers are the whoiest.
Farrelly brothers, feral cats.
Because a feral cat is a feral cat. You're like, oh, that cat's feral. Like, that's versus like, hey, do you know that movie? It's the Farrelly
Do you know
brothers.
remember Green Book? Yeah, okay. So
Right, like, it's the Farrelly brothers, then feral cats, then I
are
would say
all these guys tied? Will Ferrell, Colin Farrell, Pharrell, those are famous guys.
I weirdly think Pharrell is like higher than Will Ferrell. And I think Colin might be just the top.
Colin's at the top.
Yeah.
Farrelly brothers, feral cats, Will Ferrell, Pharrell, and Colin Farrell. Pharrell and
Yeah,
that's
although I feel like I would do this.
Yeah, I like that better. So Colin
Like
Farrell
Colin
and Pharrell
Farrell
are
and
tied.
Pharrell are tied.
Yeah. Okay. That's tough. Will Ferrell's them me.
He's really them-y, but I just like Colin Farrell's a fucking movie star in a way that's bigger, and Pharrell is like a mononymous everything star.
You can't take a step without hearing about Pharrell. Somehow.
You can't take a step.
You can't take a step.
You can take a step.
Peacock's like, watch Bridget Jones, watch Piece by Piece, you know? Like, shut up. I don't want to watch the Lego Piece by Piece movie.
I'm not watching Piece by Piece. I'm not.
Okay, well,
Nice
that did
try,
it.
I'm not.
Last call, which is really good.
Hi, Bobby Lindsay. In honor of all of the norovirus going around, which I've somehow avoided, knock on wood, I wanted you guys to rank who to them the Pepto Bismol jingle of symptoms. What is it? Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Yeah, who to them? Just let her rip.
Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
Don't say let her rip when you talk about Pepto Bismol. The song, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. My gut was that they're in the order that they're sung, but I don't actually think that's the case. I think diarrhea is definitely the themiest.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Question: are we doing who to them ranking based on what you're using Pepto Bismol for, or
No.
in general?
In general.
These who to them ranking, but of like what these
No, in general.
these symptoms.
Because I feel
Okay.
like Pepto Bismol, the themiest thing I use it for is just like heartburn or upset stomach, like vague upset. Upset stomach, I think, is the whoiest because it could mean anything, kind of.
Sure, upset stomach is kind of like not a real diagnosis. Yeah, it's
Nausea
just like,
too.
You think nausea is hooey?
I think nausea is hooey because I think nausea is so nebulous.
Also, nausea is so dramatic sometimes.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm nauseous. It's,
so
like,
dramatic.
are you really? Or are you just like don't want to leave the house? You know, like what do you mean by that?
Sure. And heartburn is kind of hooey too because I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is,
Mm-hmm.
or like don't know they're experiencing it or something.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like you feel it in your heart, but it's like not your heart. So there's something kind of hooey about that. It's like it's not very professional.
But you hear about it a lot. I think it's demier than indigestion because I think heartburn is a word that exists outside the context.
right, like heartburn by Nora Ephron.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. But diarrhea, who could argue that diarrhea isn't the themiest of these symptoms?
Who could argue that diarrhea isn't the themiest of these symptoms?
I think it goes from who to them: upset stomach, nausea, indigestion, heartburn, diarrhea.
I would argue that nausea is higher than indigestion, but then it's perfect.
So
Now that I'm looking at it.
upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, heartburn, diarrhea. They should change the song. Upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, heartburn, diarrhea. That's what it should be.
So you're saying that's from who to them?
From who to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you. They'll do it. They'll change it. Let them know. They'll change it.
When you have upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, heartburn, diarrhea.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah.
Now that we've said diarrhea a few times.
Yeah. I think we're good. We've said diarrhea the allotted amount of times per episode.
Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Who's There. Call in at 619-WHO-THEM to leave questions, comments, and concerns for our next Friday show. Support us on patreon.com/whoweekly for bonus episodes, a Discord server, commentary tracks, and more. You can also get the audio only on Apple Podcasts. Just click subscribe in the app. Also, rate and review us while you're there. We love your ratings and reviewings. Thank you to Katie and Eric of The Who's for providing our Read It theme song on Tuesdays. Thank you to Timmy, our research and editorial assistant, for researching and editorializing. We'll see you on Sunday if you're a VIP subscriber, and we'll see you on Tuesday if not. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Hey. Hey. When you have upset stomach, indigestion, nausea, heartburn, diarrhea.
Hey, Bobby. I listened to my podcast really fast, too, and I was vindicated. My wife and I are Wholigans. I was vindicated that you said you listened to 1.8 on Pocket Cast, and that's exactly what I do. So thank you, and I feel vindicated, and this is never going to be played. Tito Lesbian.
Hi. I just have to say, Bobby saying he listens to most things on 1.8 speed explains exactly why I can't listen to this podcast sped up at all, because Bobby sounds so unhinged sped up, in my opinion. It just like doesn't work for me, and I just think that maybe, Bobby, that's like your whole cadence is just like, now you just talk at 1.8 speed in general. Okay, I love you. That was not a criticism. I love you so much. Tim Tebow Lesbian. Bye.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, Timmy. I couldn't decide whether to call VIP or regular, so you'll just take it where you get it. But I was listening to your podcast the other day, and my teenager's friend got in the car, and Bobby was going a million miles a minute, as he typically does. And this teenager from the back seat goes, "Holy yap." And I have decided that that is your new catchphrase. And now whenever I turn on the pod, I'm like, "Holy yap." So, yeah, holy yap. Crunch, crunch.
Hi, BLT. I haven't even finished today's episode yet, but
the segment that just ended with Lindsay going, language is so beautiful. Language is iconic. Tattoo it on my body. That is one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. I weirdly, during the ad break, I was like a little emotional. Oh my God, crunch, crunch.
Hi, BLT. What/who? I think what is the Kia Asylum? That's KHIA Asylum. I'm seeing it being used on Twitter a lot as like a meme where like some random pop girls go. I don't know. I don't get it. I would love to understand. Help. Crunch, crunch.
There's literally nobody else on the earth who will find this interesting, but I almost got into a car crash because I was driving in a neighborhood in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, called Bricktown, and you are crossing this river into this little gentrified area, and straight ahead of you is a restaurant titled The Spaghetti Factory, and to your left is another restaurant titled Spaghetti Warehouse. I was driving, literally almost crashed because I thought it was so hilarious, and I had to compose myself at the stoplight to explain to my husband why I was laughing maniacally. I know this is a deep cut, but enjoy knowing that there's a world where the two of those literally intersect. And why would anybody else ever notice that? All right, crunch, crunch.
Travis Kelce skips Chiefs after party, FaceTimes the chain smokers following Super Bowl loss. And you, I'm going to bed.
Headline from Vogue. Millie Bobby Brown is now Millie Bobby Blonde. Crunch, crunch.